welcome to Rewatch Party, where we can probably fix a car, right? I'm Harrison Bloom.
I'm Zach Horowitz.
And I'm Mark Green.
We have a lot of car trouble in this episode, guys. Some real Frankenstein-y shit happening to one particular car.
Named after a famous beloved Hollywood icon.
Boris Karloff.
Yes. How did you know?
Well, context clues. Harrison said some Frankenstein-y shit happens. You said it was named after a beloved Hollywood icon. Boris Karloff could be the only choice. Or else it's Javier Bardem, who was set to play Frankenstein in The Dark Universe.
Oh,
I just want to see Mark go on for this for like an hour, and that's just this episode of the podcast.
Of course, also in Kenneth Branagh's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Robert De Niro played Frankenstein. Christopher Lee, of course. How could we, not mention Christopher Lee in the Hammer horror films? And of course, there's my personal favorite film, Frankenstein, Aaron Eckhart in the film I, Frankenstein, where he's hot, sexy Frankenstein who fights monsters.
Yeah, that's the best Frankenstein.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the best movie.
I'm
just
Mark
saying
Frankenstein
that's how
is the doctor. For that, the monster is not Frankenstein. So you're gonna have to do that whole thing again. Can you do that whole thing again, but make it correct this time?
Anyway, so iCarly. You joke, but I'm going, okay, so Gene Wilder and Young Frankenstein. James McAvoy in that movie Victor Frankenstein played Frankenstein.
Who played him in the original? I
don't know off the top of my head.
No, that's
do I look like
it?
Oh, you don't know off the top of your head, but you know like 10 other actors who have played
Frankenstein. Yes, also Peter Boyle played Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein. Oh, what do I look like? An expert on Dr. Frankenstein and not the monster Frankenstein?
I was more asking the question in general, not demanding it of you.
Okay.
But yes, I agree. Okay. He is hard to place.
Yeah. So after
this
that,
episode,
anyway, Harper is waiting to hear back about a job she applied for with Double Dutch, a new influencer / pop star.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler is telling us that Charles Ogle played, I assume, Victor Frankenstein in the 1910 silent film. He called us peasants. Tyler, please let us know if you had to look that up or if you knew it off the top of your head.
And if you had to...
Tyler responded, fuck you, which I think does answer my question.
That is the correct answer to the question.
I really, at some point in the future, Tyler, you don't have to do this now. I really hope at some point in the future of the podcast, anything Tyler, messages us during the podcast is later added into the episode in a text-to-speech robot voice.
yes, just randomly throughout the episode.
I'm just imagining a text-to-speech robot just goes, fuck you.
Punching the air right now.
Harper is waiting to hear back from Double Dutch, the influencer / pop star. Carly has to go pick up her taco costume for their Taco Tina sketch.
So they do still do the web show.
Yeah, they do still do the web show. That's a good thing to point out because they're making sort of influencer internet famous jokes about Double Dutch. And we were shouting at the screen being Carly, you're internet famous.
Carly, you might be the first niche internet micro celebrity.
Oh, God. That's right.
It was Charlie of Charlie Bit My Finger, and then it was Carly Shay.
And Fred. Don't forget Fred. They did a collab together.
Right, it was Fred.
They collabed together.
Oh God, they did the first YouTuber collab.
Yes. And they did the first YouTuber boxing fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
iCarly was a real trailblazing show.
It was really ahead of its time.
Real trailblazing show. But literally everybody offers Carly their car. And it was at this moment that we went, oh, I guess Carly's car is all fucked up, right?
Yeah.
And guess what, dear listener? It is.
It is.
Good to know.
Horrible, horrible things have been done to Carly's car, Vin Diesel, which is an old Volkswagen Beetle that looks like shit.
Yeah, you see, and Carly cares about Vin Diesel,
by no fault of its own.
She really cares about this car, almost like this car is family to her.
God.
Yeah, it's almost like this car, I don't know, voiced the Iron Giant.
Yeah. That's the thing about roads in Seattle. The streets always
That's the thing
win.
about street fights. The street always wins. And boy, has the street taken a toll on Vin Diesel.
But we have what I think is a pretty good visual joke, a pretty good editing joke where Carly's saying, guys, my car is fine. It's doing great. Cut immediately to Carly standing beside her broken down car.
Wearing a taco outfit.
Wearing a taco outfit. This is not Vin Diesel's best day.
No. Mm-hmm. I love how Carly felt the need to put on the taco outfit right away.
Yeah. Like, couldn't have just, like, taken the taco outfit and, like, left it in the car? Like, you had clothes on before. Like, I'm assuming you had clothes on when you went into the store. Otherwise, that would just be weird.
Do you think she did do that? Do you think she drove nude to the costume store and was like, oh, shit, I forgot.
Store naked? Like, I'm sorry, I forgot my clothes.
I forgot my clothes.
It's a good thing that I'm here to pick up my taco costume.
Yeah. Or do you think or maybe, just another theory, you think she got there, was like, well, I better try it on to make sure it fits. Then someone stole her clothes. Ooh. She saw them run out of the store. Ooh. She's like, I have to follow after him.
I need to
jumped
get in
her
my car.
And then immediately broke down.
You know what? I'm going to assume
I bet that's what it was.
I'm going to assume it was that.
But the mechanic arrives, and lo and behold, he is super hot. That is the start.
He comes out.
Incident.
There's like this whole cinematic, like slow-mo scene of him getting out of his car, and he's like a hot mechanic.
Yeah, he's very dreamy. His name is Wes.
Yes,
and he's very dreamy.
Yeah.
He's from Quadruple A. I think we need to spend about 5 more minutes just saying he's really hot.
Yeah. It's his defining character trait is that he's hot.
No, he's also like pretty nice.
And he's also
he's
good
a pretty
at
nice guy. He's good at cars. It's in his family. His grandfather was a mechanic.
Oh, I get it. Family, like Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Am I like not allowed to use the word family anymore? Is
not
it going to become
Vin
too
Diesel.
much of a problem? So Zach, you're saying no. I'm fine. I can hear that and not say anything. It's just Vin Diesel is going to be worried.
Don't blame me.
As if Vin Diesel is listening.
I have a contractual obligation from Vin Diesel himself.
We're going to be like 30 minutes into the recording, and I'm going to be saying something like, yeah, it's this place my family used to go to. And Zach is going to be like, Vin Diesel doesn't like that.
Mark, if you say family, Vin Diesel's going to challenge you to a street fight, and you don't want to get in those.
It's one of those things where it's like if you turn the lights on and off 3 times and then say not Vin Diesel, and then you say family 5 times in the mirror, Vin Diesel appears behind you.
He appears. Oh my God.
He just spawns in.
He spawns in, you turn around and go, I love your work.
He punches you in the face.
God.
What did I do? Anyway, Wes is with Quadruple A, which is maybe my least favorite of the fake brands in these shows.
It's such a
They
mouthful.
just added another A.
It's such a mouthful. It's not particularly funny. Maybe it's a little funny, but it's just such a mouthful. It took me right out of it. But we also learned that Carly has called a tow truck 9 times in the last 6 months.
But she gets the 10th one for free.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
That's true. Or, well, yeah, there's an exchange where she says, like, that can't be true. And he says, well, the 10th one is free. And she says, then that is true. It's very good.
Yeah. And it turns out Vin Diesel has been through way too much. First of all, Carly, she says that
he takes diesel.
She gives him the name Vin Diesel because he takes diesel. And apparently he takes unleaded.
Yeah. Well, she says he takes diesel, and Wes immediately says he takes unleaded. You haven't been putting diesel in this thing. She's like, no.
Carly follows it up by saying that Vin Diesel is a very tough car. And I agree, because I know someone who put diesel in their car once by accident, and it caused an explosion.
Oh.
Like, it just caused, like, the engine to, like, burst.
Oh, I didn't know about an explosion. I just know about someone who, like, accidentally put diesel in their car, and they had to, like, couldn't drive
like,
the car.
I
to,
say explosion, like the engine just, like, burst. Like, it just stopped. Like, it just broke. So the fact that she's able to drive the car at all...
Because, Harrison, not to actually you, but I'm a real, like, car expert, and I think all combustion engines operate off of small explosions. So actually, there you go. This is Mark the car expert.
They're called combustion engines.
Yeah. Don't you look foolish?
Everyone in the comments right now tell Harrison he's a stupid idiot and that Zach is really smart and cool and funny and stuff.
How did this become about you, Zach? Mark was the one with the
I just need someone to gas me up. I just need someone to hype me up, okay? I need this in my life.
Zach, you can do it. You're good enough. You're smart enough.
But you didn't say I'm cool and smart and really funny and handsome and stuff. That's what I was looking for.
Zach, I'm not gonna lie.
God damn it.
Walked into that one.
Damn!
Well,
Bing, 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 bing.
I would like to formally announce that I will be leaving the podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say, Zach just texted his resignation letter to us. He's packing up all his clothes. He says that he's moving away. We record this podcast remotely.
Zach, how did you text the resignation letter in Comic Sans font? I didn't even know you could do that.
I thought it would be funny.
Zach, you know what?
Yeah.
The fact that you figured out how to text your resignation letter in Comic Sans font has really turned my opinion around. And I think you're kind of like smart and funny and really handsome.
Yes! Wait, what about cool?
You're cool as well.
Yes! Okay, I hereby take back my resignation. I'm still with the podcast. We're friends again.
Listeners, now you understand what kind of maintenance Zach needs.
I'm very high maintenance, yeah. I only surround myself with the greatest of yes men.
Yeah, I've never made fun of you in my life.
No, never.
Anyway.
Never. Not even once. I'm like the perfect human being.
Not even like
Not
in
even
this
like
podcast.
in passing. Yeah, especially not in this podcast. No, you wouldn't do it.
Anyway.
He's never done it
Anyway.
ever. Do you think he would do it while being recorded?
Anyway, Wes tells her that she might have to get rid of Vin Diesel because it's a garbage car that is falling apart. And she says, no, I can't do that. And he's like, the cost of repairs is going to be more than getting a new car. And she's like, you don't understand.
It's about family.
Can you put a price on the perfect drive-through Coca-Cola drunk while watching the stars? And he says, yes.
See, the thing about that,
in fact, do that.
I mean, I know I've been saying it a lot, but like that would have been the perfect time to be like, can you put a price on family? Because the car is named Vin Diesel. That was the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
That would have been great.
You're absolutely right. I think that's such a perfect way to incorporate family that we need to stop talking about family for the rest of the podcast.
Oh, I don't think so. I think I should keep going.
But then you'll summon Vin Diesel. Okay.
As it turns out, Wes can put a price. Tyler disagrees. Do you disagree that it's the last time we mentioned family, or do you disagree with something else?
He just says yes.
Tyler said yes. I fucking give up. You guys can do the podcast.
Okay.
Now I'm texting my resignation letter.
Okay, so it's okay, Harrison. We don't need him. So anyways, Wes is like, yes, I can put a price on it, and it's $15,000, which, $15,000 is a lot to repair a car. And then I said, like, you could get actual Vin Diesel in, like, the new Fast and the Furious movie for that price. For $15,000.
How much do you think Vin Diesel costs, Zach?
$15,000. I feel like I made that pretty clear.
Well, okay, so you get Vin Diesel for this movie for $15,000.
Yes.
How do you make the rest of the movie?
Okay, so all right, get this. All right, I'm going to need complete silence as I pour out my artistic vision. So first of all, okay, we film it in my basement. It is only Vin Diesel. The lighting is not great, but it'll work.
Wait, I was about to leave forever,
Yes.
but I overheard this conversation. Are you the director of this weird Vin Diesel movie?
I mean, yeah, I feel like that was. Well, I mean, I'm producing, directing. I'm like all other roles other than I play the love interest. It's kind of weird.
Well,
Zach wears many hats.
Yeah.
well, I mean, he can't afford any other employees, so he has to.
I
work
can't.
with what he has.
I've already blown the entire budget on Vin Diesel. So we film it in my basement. I record using my iPhone vertically.
Guys, Harper is under a lot of stress. She's being triggered by every sentence because they remind her of Double Dutch and this job prospect. That's the episode. What's going on in the episode?
This is so unhinged. Yes, Harper is very worried, and she keeps doing the thing where she takes random sentences and jumps down people's throats, saying like, double Dutch.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. I think the first time, I forget exactly how it starts, but she's talking about like, you mentioned purse, and there's this one purse, and that reminds me of this thing with Double Dutch, and Freddie goes, "You mentioned purse."
That's right.
And then like,
good.
yeah, and then the second one is Carly uses a very specific phrase.
She says specifically Hermione frickin' Granger.
because
I don't remember why.
Because the thing is, Carly's like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that like this $15,000 charge is like insane. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to this community college class on auto repair, and I'm gonna learn how to fix my own car. So take that, hot mechanic guy. I'm gonna ace this class like Hermione freaking Granger, which was apparently the name of Double Dutch's first album. She names all of her. Harper slides in very dramatically.
Harper slides in and says, "That was Double Dutch's first album. You know that."
Do you think Hermione frickin' Granger was like the name of like a Harry Potter soundtrack? Or do you think she did a diss track on J.K. Rowling?
I was gonna say, Harrison, do you think that all of Double Dutch's albums are named after Harry Potter characters?
No.
I don't know.
I think one of them is named after a Harry Potter character. The other is named after a Percy Jackson character.
You got Hermione freaking Granger, and then her follow-up album, Albus freaking Dumbledore. I was trying to, I can't name an obscure Harry Potter character. I've never read the books.
I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that the first time they do this joke, it's a really innocuous phrase that sends Harper down a spiral that she said herself. And the second is hyper specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I like that
I do
a
like
lot.
the bit. I hope I didn't sound too negative about the bit.
No, it was a good bit.
It's a very good bit.
It was worth it, if not only for Harper's slide.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. She has this really crazy entry into the frame when she says Hermione frickin' Granger. It's like she just slides in like a...
Yeah, we said
like a
she
ghost.
slides in. That was not metaphorical.
That was it was a literal slide.
Yeah, it's a literal slide.
It's uncanny.
Yeah. Anyway, Spencer is on. We cut to Spencer, who is on a date with Maeve. Remember Harper's cousin who was lost at sea?
Well, about
I'm actually
that, Mark.
amazed. I'm actually amazed that Maeve has remained with Spencer for more than an episode. It feels like most of his girlfriends disappear after one episode.
Yeah. Well, they did agree to move in together.
Oh, right. They did agree
to move in together at the end of the previous episode.
I forgot that.
So I thought she was going to be here.
But yeah,
in all honesty.
So anyway, they're eating dinner and Maeve is like, "I can't take it anymore. I faked it." And Spencer's like, "What?"
Spencer is like, "You mean the sex?
You mean like the sex?
You mean the sex? You mean like the orgasms from the sex?" And she's like, "No,
orgasms from the sex."
and she says, I faked my own kidnapping." And Spencer goes, "Oh, thank God.
It's not you. It's not me. It's you. Thank God."
I mean, Spencer is cool with her faking her own kidnapping, which is not
Surprisingly
surprising
cool.
because Spencer is a man who has faked his own death before.
That is
Yes.
true.
Remember that. In the original show, he faked his death to get money from his art.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's really good."
Yeah.
But yeah, Spencer is totally cool with it, but he's like, "But Harper's going to hate you."
Yeah.
And then the scene ends.
Yep.
That's the end of the scene.
Yeah.
Then we go to Carly, and she's at the auto repair class. Also, Millicent and Freddie are there. Why is Millicent there?
Yeah. Well, I think it's Millicent who I think there's a.
Well, you gotta start
in an earlier scene, like
early.
Well, I think
it was Millicent's idea to go there.
I think Millicent said she had taken a class in this community college before.
Yeah.
Which why it's a literal child.
Yeah. Well, but my thing is and there's a line earlier, Freddy's like, hey, guys need to learn this stuff too. This one mechanic I took my car to charged me $400 for a shock exacerbator. And Carly's like, what's a shock exacerbator? And he says, it's a made up thing someone charged me $400 for.
I love that.
So I get that Freddy needs to know this stuff. Millicent is a child.
Yeah.
She said she took an accounting class at the community college, which given Millicent's character makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Why does she need to know how to fix a car?
Maybe she's one of those people that constantly complains that school doesn't teach you real shit, man. Like how to fix a car.
And how to invest her money into Bitcoin.
Do you know where my mind went, in all honesty?
What?
That Millicent's like, if we get into a car accident, Freddy is definitely going to get knocked out. And I will have to be the one to fix things.
Even if Freddy takes this class, I am sure that he will get nothing out of it.
Yes. But Carly starts talking to one of the other students about how this guy tried to rip me off. He was this big jerk. And the other person's like, oh, that sucks. But the instructor is really nice. And Carly's like, well, I'm glad because that guy was a jerk. And guess who the instructor is?
It's Wes. I saw this coming from a mile away. Yay.
Also, this other girl has she's got the biggest crush on Wes.
Yeah.
She has issues.
Yeah.
She has named at least 2 household objects in her home after Wes.
There's also he also comes in and he's like, oh, hello. I forget what her name was. And he's like, oh,
her name was Regina. I was pretending
you're
not to
here
know
again.
Yep.
Yep.
And she's like, yep, 5 times just isn't enough. I can always learn more.
You always learn more. That's funny. So Wes is having the time of his life now that he knows that Carly is here specifically to fuck with him.
Yeah.
Or not to fuck with him, but
yeah. Well, Wes is going to teach everybody how to check their fluids.
But first, he's going to teach everybody how to spell his name.
Oh God, that's right.
That's not true. That's just something we kind of fixated on.
Yeah,
he writes
Wes writes his name on the board.
Out, where there would be a commercial break, it cuts out after the reveal of Wes, and it cuts back, and it's the same thing, but now Wes has written his name on the board. And we're just you took 20 minutes to write his name on the. We just had a whole bit about this.
It's the name Wes. Did you think people would be confused about it?
For me, I'm I understand a teacher writing their name on the board, but his name is 3 letters.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another way to spell Wes.
It's like a mnemonic device, It's like W for Wes is really good at fixing cars. E is for exactly right. Wes is great at cars. And S is for super good at fixing cars.
He's teaching them a mnemonic device about how he's good at fixing cars.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Maybe it's subliminal messaging in the mnemonic device so that people will come to his auto repair shop to get their cars fixed.
Yeah, that all these people who are already in his auto repair shop will come again. That's why Regina's here 5 times.
Yes.
But he's gonna check them. He's gonna teach them how to check their fluids. He asks for a volunteer. Literally everybody except for Carly raises their hand. Regina looks to the sky and says, please, God, I've never asked you for anything before.
Except Wes. Many times.
And who does he pick to go up in front of the class and fix the car?
Is it Carly?
I'll give you a hint. Her name starts with car.
And it's John Cena!
Her name starts with car. He chooses Carmen?
Yes.
Carson Daly?
Carson Daly is in this class.
Oh, that's so great.
No, it's Carly.
Yeah.
Who struggles to find the dipstick?
The dipstick.
I
think it was the dipstick.
I'm a car expert. We established this. I was testing you guys.
Yeah.
Carly rips something out and gets oil all over herself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the scene. She has been proven to not know what she's doing, even though she pretended to know what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess he wasn't Van-splaining to her. Ha 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 ha. Please don't hate me. The episode said that. I didn't.
Right.
Yeah. It's a joke of
mansplaining.
And Regina laughs like really hard at that joke, like she has done the 5 previous times.
God. Every time she thinks that her laugh this time
it only gets funnier every time. The more times you say it, the funnier it gets. That's how comedy works, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, just like you know who knows that? Our good friend Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel is
the more times you say something, the funnier it gets. Family, am I right?
Oh God,
Mark, I feel like you're saying this to be mean to me, and that's something you've never done before.
I've never been mean to you.
Mark would never, especially not on recording.
I would never. On recording? What are you, crazy? There a record of me saying mean things to my best friend. Aww. One of my best friends.
No, you can't take it back.
I didn't want to exclude Harrison, or Tyler.
He's mine.
Aww. Thanks, Mark. I know you love me more than Zach deep down.
Hey.
I love you too, Zach.
Thank you. And I love Vin Diesel.
So the scene is over. We move on.
We go back to Harper and Carly's apartment, where Maude and Spencer have gotten a series of elaborate gifts for Harper. My favorite of which is Spencer has acquired a $2,000 bottle of champagne from an estate sale of a guy who went bankrupt because he bought too many $2,000 bottles of champagne.
I love that. That's so amazing. Much. That was good. That joke was so good.
It's very good.
this sad man whose wife definitely left him, so he just keeps buying $2,000 bottles of champagne.
I didn't even read it that way. I just think that he likes $2,000 bottles of champagne,
and he just drank himself into bankruptcy.
Shit.
Oh shit! Where did all these bottles of champagne come from?
I was collecting them. You did not tell me. Like he has a butler he was very wealthy. He has a butler who handles his finances, and he's like, "You didn't tell me how expensive these were." And he's like, "You didn't seem to mind."
Did you think they would get less expensive the more times you bought them?
I mean, I figured there'd be some kind of loyalty discount or something.
Yeah.
But yes, Spencer has the champagne. Maeve gets sneakers that you put on your hands.
And also she framed a picture of their other cousin who's like the failure of the family. Because
Roxy.
Roxy, because she happened to bankrupt herself from buying a bunch of $2,000 of champagne.
I really wish they had said that.
It's a totally different incident, not related.
I do hope one day we just hear what Roxy did. That would be great. But Harper walks in.
She got the styling job with Double Dutch.
Yay! She did it.
And they're like, yes, that's why we got all this stuff for you.
That's right. And it's a perfect save, except not really. Yeah. Just created a false expectation.
But Harper appreciates it all. She sees the photo of Roxy and is like, and you got a photo of Roxy to show me how much better I am than her. Mm-hmm. And I liked this a lot. She called Roxy her LFCUMBM, or least favorite cousin unless Maeve betrays me.
I loved that so much. These increasingly complicated acronyms that describe your relationships with someone is something everyone needs to have in their life.
Harper's life just seems like it's fucking crazy. Like, going back from until like the point where like her whatever, I forget the thing, her something guy who is dead. Her keychain guy who is dead.
Is it a keychain guy?
Yeah, her keychain guy who has died under mysterious circumstances. To her cousin who was seemingly lost at sea for 4 years.
We also find out that like Harper recorded a single, Save Maeve, which went to number 7.
It was like
went to number 27 on the pop charts for songs about missing cousins.
Well, you see, most of the songs in that category are actually about like step siblings who get kidnapped. They just get charted into cousins because it's not like a real sibling.
Specifically step siblings, like biological siblings have their own category.
Yeah. If you go onto like cousin TikTok, there's a lot of discourse about it.
Cousin TikTok.
Oh no.
Oh, do you guys not go on Cousin TikTok?
Cousin TikTok is the worst place ever created.
That sounds like the worst place ever.
Most TikTok communities are pretty bad, so I can only imagine how bad the Cousin TikTok is.
It sounds like the Alabama of Alabama.
What?
Carly comes home to celebrate. Maeve does not reveal the truth to Harper.
No,
she has a chance and she doesn't do it. I do understand that, but also it's just such the sitcom thing of like, Maeve, don't you have something to tell her? I'm so proud of you.
Hey, Harper, I know you're like super happy about getting this job with this like super famous pop star and all, but I faked my kidnapping 4 years ago.
I'm not saying it would be natural. I'm just saying there's a thing where I feel like at one point, I feel like one of these days someone should say that to a character in a sitcom. Someone should say like, don't you have anything to share? And the other character should say, well, I do, but not until Act 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, Double Dutch breaks into Spencer's apartment.
Yeah, this is where we're introduced to Double Dutch, by the way. And she is
the worst.
She is the worst. A lot.
Yeah, we don't like
described by Times Magazine as really ... good ... at ... songs.
Yeah, there was like a whole thing where she was like described by Time Magazine as the best artist born in the year 1994 or something like that. And so we just like as of it just kept going with
we
these,
were
like,
just riffing off of that.
Yeah.
Newsweek referred to me as a lot.
Newsweek referred to me as the greatest artist ever who is also named Double Dutch.
Yeah. Her entrance is she starts singing randomly about how they have yogurt in their fridge. We don't know why she's here. Oh, actually, we do know why she's here.
Yeah, she's here to meet with Harper.
Yeah. Because I guess Harper's still working up in the studio.
Yeah.
But she overhears Maeve talking about how she faked her kidnapping and resolves to sing it to Harper for some reason.
Well, here's the thing. Thing. She overhears them talking about the kidnapping, and she's like, let's dish about this kidnapping. And
describe it to me
Spencer
in a 3-act structure within the hero's journey.
Yeah. But Spencer says, okay, don't say anything to Harper. And Double Dutch says, oh, I won't say anything, but I might sing something.
Double Dutch
because
seems
Double
like the
Dutch is the worst.
Double Dutch seems like the kind of person who like would break into song in like a crowded area and expect everyone to join in, only for nobody to join in.
Yeah. You know what I'd say? I'd say Double Dutch is the kind of person who would say, I won't say anything about your secret, but I might sing about it, which is psychopath behavior.
That is psychopath behavior.
To be like, I acknowledge that you don't want me to say anything, but obviously I will sing something about it, as any normal person would do.
Yes, that is so terrible.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
So Double Dutch goes off. Spencer talks to Maeve and is like, okay, plan A, I convinced Double Dutch not to say anything. Plan B, we escape to Honduras. Yes. We become peach farmers. And he has this whole long scenario. It's great. It's very good. I didn't write the whole thing down.
Like, whatever. You should have. But I mean, it's been a while since we pitched a spinoff, but that should be our spinoff for this episode.
Yeah. Go to the town of La Esperanza.
It's called Plan B, where Spencer and Maeve move to Honduras. And become peach farmers.
That's a really good name for the sitcom. Yeah. I like that a lot.
I like that.
Yes.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's a good
Paramount Plus should hire me to make sitcoms starring Jerry Trainer.
It's too bad Quibi doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my god.
That would be a hit
That
quib.
would be a hell of a Quibi.
That would be a hell of a Quibi. Anyway, Tyler says we've got 15 minutes left, so that's about 2 Quibbies, right?
Oh, God.
2.5 Quibbies.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Rip Quibi, am I right?
Tyler, you can edit that out. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, but I was gonna say I know someone who unironically used Quibbies as like a unit of measurement at one point. And it's like, I mean, for a bit, obviously, but like would do it.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we go to the next scene. Carly is determined to learn how to repair a car on the internet, which is a great idea that I support wholeheartedly.
Not just anywhere on the internet, on everybody's favorite, most reliable source, TikTok.
Yes.
Hey, say what you will. There are a lot of valuable videos on Cousin Talk about.
I mean, I learned so much on TikTok. You know, all the investing strategies. I bought my first house that way.
My first time.
Anyway, they're working on it. Carly gets sprayed with oil.
Again.
She starts to... again. She says, son of a... And then Millicent honks the horn, censoring bitch. Maybe she was going to say biscuit.
Dare you?
Yippee.
I don't have a filter, Zach.
That would have been a fun...
You can't control what I say.
That would have been a fun joke, though, if she had like said that and Carly was like, why didn't you honk the horn? I was going to say biscuit.
Yeah. Freddie gets electrocuted and also goes to curse, but Millicent honks the horn.
Mm-hmm.
Her innocent child can't hear these words or else she will explode.
Yeah. Her little baby ears can't deal with cussing.
Mm-hmm.
Carly eventually, she agrees, okay, I'll call a mechanic. And there was a little exchange that I really liked where Carly goes to Millicent and says, give me my phone. And Millicent says, okay, hold this, and hands her the steering wheel, which is fully disconnected from the car.
That was great.
I liked that a lot.
The car is like fully just going. It's like smoke.
This is the Frankenstein
there's like smoke
shit I was
coming out of it
about.
at one point. Like, shit's like falling out of the trunk. It's a bunch of stuff. She's like, fine,
Vin Diesel's dying. We cut to later. I believe they're at the apartment. Wes comes and he tells Carly that maybe she should consider. She tells him again, maybe she should consider getting rid of the car.
But she says no.
And she gets very emotional about it.
Yeah.
We started speculating that this was going to be parent drama, like, oh no, my mom is dead.
Yeah.
Which that sounded kind of trite to us. Like it's been
your
done.
Mom is dead.
Well, not trite. Like it's just been done before.
Yeah. I know we usually we go very much in order. It turns out she bought the car with Sam. I just say that because I did have a feeling in this scene. I was like, I bet it is something with Sam because Sam is absent.
Yeah.
We know I don't know if we exactly know what happened with her mother, but like we know her baggage with her dad, and he was on a submarine for the majority of her childhood, so I don't think it's like her dad's car.
No.
So I did have a feeling it was going to be Sam, but Carly does not want to give up on the car, and he agrees to try to fix it. We go to Harper's meeting with Double Dutch. I just don't like Double Dutch.
Yeah, but let's not talk about her. I don't like
thinking about her.
Let's not talk about Double Dutch. Let's talk about the real star of this scene, Spencer.
Spencer?
Yeah.
Spencer comes in with tea to try to interrupt things.
I guess.
He tries to ask Double Dutch to not say anything, I guess. But it's kind of vague and doesn't really work. He starts hammering and says, oh, I have to fix things, so I guess you have to. This is probably making too much noise. You gotta move your meeting, right?
Which, like, I don't understand how that helps, because they're still talking.
Yeah,
just in a different place.
No, because what he said. Yeah, what he says is, oh, you better cancel this, Harper. You should just send Double Dutch your slides.
Yeah.
So I guess Double Dutch could still say something, but he's like, you should carry out all your correspondence over email. But Harper starts to like push him out of the room. So in a last ditch attempt to stay in the room, I guess, he like throws the tea on the floor and is like, oh no.
Guess I gotta clean up all this tea.
guess I gotta clean up all this tea, you know what I mean? And otherwise there's gonna be tea on the ground.
Exactly. And then Maeve comes in and she's like, hey Spencer, how's it going? And Spencer's like, oh, I spilled the tea.
Which
and you can see where this is going.
Yeah.
Yes.
She just says, I'm so sorry I told you about my kidnapping. No shit, you meant other tea.
Yeah.
And then Double Dutch is like, well, yeah, I mean, like, this could have gone so much better if you would just let me sing about it.
Do you think it would have been better? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it would have been better.
I don't think anything is better if Double Dutch sings
it. I think the only person who would think it was better if she sings it would be Double Dutch herself. Maybe Harper will be won over and she'd be like, well, you know, like, I am angry that my cousin has betrayed me and all, but damn, that was such a good song.
Like, imagine if your cousin committed vehicular manslaughter. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that. And instead of getting like a phone call or something, a singing telegram showed up at your door and sang you a song about how your cousin committed vehicular manslaughter. I don't think that would cushion the blow. I think you'd be a little upset about that.
I think you might be more upset.
Yeah.
It would be funny though.
You couldn't tell me this yourself?
It would be funny.
Yeah, it should be a more personal betrayal. Imagine your cousin like slept with your wife.
Imagine
and
your
then sent a singing telegram.
Yeah.
And then sent a singing telegram. I think you'd be like, what the fuck? This is worse than texting me about it.
Oh, yeah. That's your comment question of the day. We've never done this before. So your comment question of the day. Let us know. What's worse, texting about being cheated on or receiving a singing telegram informing you that you've been cheated on?
Better yet, what is the best thing to send a singing telegram for? Or the worst? You interpret that question however you please.
Because it does suck to receive a singing telegram that says you've been cheated on, and I'm maybe showing my hand. Guys, you can probably tell I'm speaking from personal experience.
Oh, no.
My ex Allison sent me a telegram the other day.
Oh God.
And
it was so
hurts.
close to your anniversary.
So close to the anniversary.
And on your birthday.
I know. And it's like, she knew it was the birthday because the singing telegram also sang happy birthday.
Yeah.
So like, I know she knew.
It's like after they were done with like the whole breakup thing, they started transitioning
They brought out another card.
They brought out like a cupcake and a candle.
It's such a shame. I can't believe Allison did that. If you ever want to talk about it.
If your name is Allison, we still love you unless you're Mark's ex, then fuck that, Allison, but not the other Allison.
Yeah, I just like, I couldn't keep up this charade of just like laughing at the idea because it hurts. This is something that happens to people.
That's right.
Sometimes you just like, you think everything's all right and then you open that door and someone says, hello. And you just know the other shoe is going to drop.
Sometimes you
Zach, please don't. You're bringing it all back.
I thought we were going to harmonize for a second, but I misread the situation.
Sometimes
it's
you get
too painful.
Sometimes you get a singing telegram where someone rhymes daughter with manslaughter, and that's just not okay.
Oh, we're here to tell you something about your daughter. She's committed vehicular manslaughter. Hey. That'll be $20.
Well, yeah, that happened to me too. I didn't think we were going to talk about it.
Let's just move on. This is too traumatic for Mark.
Let's just move on. It's too traumatic. Wes comes back and he couldn't save Vin Diesel. He couldn't save the car.
He couldn't bring this Frankenstein back to life.
Carly's very upset about it, and he asks, is it possible that this is about more than a car?
Yeah.
And she tells him about Sam and that they saved up to buy the car together in college, and they used to go on all these trips, but now Sam has moved away. But when she's inside Vin Diesel, and at this point she pauses and says, I'm maybe going to just say my car. She feels connected to Sam. Also, we should say Harper is really upset at Maeve. She goes on this thing about like, look, it's going to be all right. It's not like your cousin betrayed you.
Yes. Didn't even send me a singing telegram.
Yeah, and that she says like the reason why, I think she says this to Spencer, like the reason why she faked it was because like her family was in serious debt, and there was like a whole thing, and it just kind of like, oh, well, I mean, if I pretend to be kidnapped, they'll forgive my debt.
Well, I think, it's weird because, it's weird because I think she also is just saying like the paparazzi were hounding me everywhere. So I just took a cruise and just sailed off. Like if I remember correctly, I feel like her phrasing is a lot more like I was just sick of all the attention. It's like, Maeve, there are other ways.
She does mention debt forgiveness. That is a thing.
Yeah, she does mention debt forgiveness.
It's a 1-2 punch.
I'm just saying there are other ways. Like it's very easy to not fake your kidnapping.
Yeah,
that's not something you typically do accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Though if anyone could manage, it's Maeve.
If I may, there is no IMDb trivia for this episode. However, there is one user review on IMDb that's just very funny to me. So if I may read it out loud. Warning, spoilers. It says, so they just gonna forgot about a kidnapping that happened and lasted for 4 years? And what the fuck she gonna do about them debts? Which is like, these are all things that are addressed in the episode.
Yeah. Anyways, they got forgiven.
Anyways, they gave it a 3 out of 10 on IMDb, and 1 out of 20 people found this review helpful.
1 out of 20?
I'm so curious who was the person who found it helpful.
The one right below it just says like worst show I've ever seen, and it's just more so like it's just about the show as a whole, and there's like every character has the thought process of 7-year-olds. Whoever wrote these episodes deserves to be in jail. Absolute disgrace to be the same species as the people who made this show. And 0 out of 29 people found that review helpful.
Well, good, because that's pretty harsh.
Yeah. That seems like a review I would have written when I was like 11.
That's very much like, that's definitely like an edgy 13-year-old writing that review, who's like, oh, I remember the good old days of iCarly, like before I was born. I was like 2 years old when the original happened.
They watched like one episode of Nostalgia Critic, and now they think they have to just like describe things with the most hyperbolic anger possible.
Anyway, Wes declines payment for his labor. He tells Carly put it towards her new car, and he asks her out, and it's kind of a cute little thing where he says like, or maybe you wouldn't need a car because like maybe your date would pick you up.
Hypothetically.
She's like, oh, where are we going? Hypothetically. He's like, anywhere you want to go. That Wes is real dreamy.
What a Chad. What a Chad.
All right.
He's a real
I don't know
Wes,
if that was what was at the tip of my tongue.
That guy's a real Wes.
All right.
Internet speak has ruined me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, we get to our last scene.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer has turned the car into a new seat for the studio.
It's a new seat of sitting for the studio. Great. And Spencer says, try saying that 5 times fast. And then everybody does with no trouble whatsoever. And they're like, it's not hard, dude. Yep.
A new seat of sitting for the studio.
A new seat of sitting for the studio.
A new seat of sitting for the studio.
Yeah, I figured they would do something like turn the car into like a piece of memorabilia or like save the shell or something. So I liked what they did with it. It was cute.
Yeah. Maeve apologizes to Harper, and then they sing Save Maeve.
Which was her ringtone while she was quote unquote lost at sea for 4 years.
That's right. That's right. I like the idea. I know we discussed, probably like a burner phone. I like the idea that she was just like texting everybody while she was pretending to be kidnapped.
While she was pretending to be kidnapped by pirates at sea.
Yeah. Do you think anyone was like, hey, you're texting me. Do you want, like, where are you? Do you want me to come rescue you?
And she's like, pick you up?
No, don't worry about it. It's okay. Anyway.
They're very generous pirates. They give me 5 hours of phone time a day.
Hey, but for the majority of your time, no screens, all right?
They
like to keep screen time to a minimum.
Yeah.
A human connection is the most important type of World Wide
You see,
Web.
I'm giving you your cell phone back, but you gotta promise to be responsible with it,
I want you to get 10,000 steps a day around the deck.
I think we did pirate voices in the last episode.
Post one of them
I
TikTok
apologize
dances,
to anyone who doesn't like hearing us do pirate voices.
I don't know
but
why you
we're not
wouldn't.
going to stop.
Yeah,
We're not going to
I
stop.
don't know why you wouldn't
never.
like hearing us do pirate voices.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the next episode as pirates the entire time.
Anyway, I think that be the end of the episode.
Does this bring us to Sad Boy of the Week?
Aye, it does.
Aye.
Aye.
So who's the sad boy this week?
Carly.
Yeah, Carly. I think it's Carly.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Regina.
Ooh.
Oh, Regina's good. Yeah, Regina's a good choice.
She's a very sad person.
It's true.
I mean, I feel like it's also kind of worth mentioning Maeve for, faking her kidnapping for 4 years.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning Maeve in that faking her kidnapping for 4 years is a lot. I just don't feel like she's particularly like sad or fun in that way in this episode.
Yeah.
But it's Carly, right?
Regina was a very strong showing.
But I
She
think
has
it's still
attended a car fixing class,
Yeah.
an auto repair class, 5 times in
the
the
same
hopes of
class
wooing
as
the
well.
instructor.
I think it's also worth mentioning the same. It's not like she went to auto repair like 101 and then 102. It's like the same class, the same exact class, like 5 times.
How often do you think the class meets? Like, how much of her life is she spending
Well, I mean, I'd imagine
sitting in this chair staring at
several
Wes?
semesters at least.
Was he like twice or 3 times a week for a whole semester?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, like I thought, like twice a week
Yeah. 2-3 times
for
a
at
week.
least a time. Yeah.
Yeah. She's been. Do you think her grades have just steadily improved? Like she now has like a 4.0 in car repair. She can get a major and as a mechanic.
Yep. I mean, I'm still voting for Carly though, with like the everything about her in this
Fair
episode.
enough.
I think I have to vote for Carly as well.
She was very sad.
But
I mean,
Regina's
she
a
held
good-
on tight to
Yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that car was like family to her. I had to get one more in.
Zach, go to the corner.
Okay, fine. But we gotta end the episode first.
I do also just want to highlight one thing from Carly, which is her saying, "When I'm inside Vin Diesel."
Not
was
if,
great.
when.
When she's an internet celebrity. She's gotten around.
Yeah, she's a niche
That's
internet
true.
micro celebrity.
Yeah.
Who met Michelle Obama.
That is true. She met Michelle Obama and One Direction, and also the cast of Victorious.
Remember that episode when she nursed Harry Styles back to health? And then it turned out Harry Styles was doing that thing where he pretended to be sick in order to be pampered.
Oh my
That
god.
was the One Direction episode of iCarly. It was
I don't
about
even
Harry
remember
Styles.
that.
I don't
Harry
remember
Styles
that.
injures himself. She like takes care of him, and then it's like, I think he's faking it, so I'll pamper him all day. And I'm just now being like, he's Harry Styles. It's not like he doesn't live a life of luxury outside of Carly.
Guys, do you think?
right?
Guys, I think
That's
I cracked the
right.
code. Do you think that's why Zayn left One Direction? Is because he was jealous that Harry Styles was being pampered and not him?
yes, that's it. Or maybe Zayn was tired of being asked to pamper Harry. Like,
Yeah,
Harry was
Harry's
just
like
being
he's
so
very
needy.
delicate. He relies on his bandmates to pamper him.
He's really demanding. Anyway, so I think Carly is our sad boy, right?
Oh, yeah, for
He's
sure.
our sad boy. Good showing for Carly these last 2 weeks.
Harrison, you want to take us out?
Yeah, all right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want to find us more, please go to Rewatch Party Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I am Harrison Bloom.
I'm Zach Horowitz.
And I'm Mark Green.
And until next time, please keep rewatching and please find a better way to fake your own kidnapping or not fake your own kidnapping.